Welcome to another episode of New to Me. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and today we are finally taking a look at the Rode Wireless Go 2. That's right, I am very excited, so let's just jump right in and take a look at what you get inside the package. First off, you'll get 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, 3 dead cats in case you lose them, 3 USB to USB Type-Cs for charging, 1 camera connection cable. Now this is interesting because it has wire in it, and wire has a tendency to break over time, so we'll see how long that lasts. And you get 1 of their cases that will fit all 3 units and the dead cats, and you will need another storage case for all the rest of the accoutrement. And finally, you get what I feel is the worst instructions ever. It is all picture-based, it's very hard to follow, so I will just be figuring it out myself. Now, let's take a look at some of the improvements on these. Now, first off, the clips have been improved. They are much stronger. And the dead cats are also the second improvement. Now, it is just kind of this twist lock here, where you just kind of mash it on and twist lock. And now it is not coming off. That is a great improvement. Another improvement is the fact that these now turn on much faster, even though 5 seconds is a long time. They still do turn on fairly quickly, and they turn off on about 3 seconds. Now, my biggest gripe and why I sold my original Rode Wireless Go's was because sometimes you would press the power button and it wouldn't turn off or it wouldn't turn on. These now, they seem to have fixed that problem. They seem to address that problem. So, as you notice, yes, you get 2 transmitters. That means, yes, this unit does do split audio. You can record this on one side of the track and that on another side of the track. So if you are doing an interview with 2 people, you can work on their vocal lines separately. Super awesome. Or you can merge these or turn one off and just use this as one. Very, very cool. Now, let's take a look at the transmitters themselves. Nothing different except for the twist lock for the dead cat. You still get your built-in microphone. You still get your place to plug in your lav, you still get your USB Type-C, your power button, and your belt clip. Now let's take a look at the receiver here, and that is a little different. You do get your power as before. You do get a camera out and the USB-C, but on the bottom you get 2 buttons. Now, this button is going to control your dB and muting, which is your decibels, and this is going to control which microphone you're controlling, and of course, link. Now let's take a look at the screen here, and as you can see, this is in dual channel mode, which means I have both microphones actually working, and that red dot above the 2 means that yes, it is recording. That's right, both these transmitters can record as well as transmit. That is the main reason why I bought them, because I wanted to be able to make a backup recording in case I lose signal. So there you go, I will be hooking this up to my boom mic. I'm going to be doing a whole video on how to use these later on. But as you can see, number 2 track is recording. And of course, you can set this on the computer app and hopefully on the phone app when it comes out. It's not available yet, but you can actually change your power button to a button where you just press it once and it'll put some markers actually in your footage. So it'll just mark a good take. Which is super awesome. We'll go into that. But it is recording. Now, let's say you want to mute a recording. Well, you just hit the 1-2 button. You select the mic. We're going to select 1. And we're going to go ahead and hit the mute button. And there you go. Now, number 1 track is muted. And to unmute, you just hit it again. And then and then to control your dBs, you're going to unselect everything, and there you go. You could just select how loud or soft you want it. It does still have that 3-step low, medium, and high decibel settings. Although when you go in the app, we'll show you a little something that it does. So there you go. And let's say you just want to use 1 microphone. Let's go ahead and hold both buttons down for 3 seconds. And now you are in merged mode, which means both microphones are recording onto the same track. And let's go ahead and mute 1. And now you've got microphone 2 just working. So there you go. Very, very simple to control. Now there are a few more fine-tuned controls in the app, which we'll get to. But first, let's take a look at how this thing actually sounds and performs. Okay, so here I am on the Rode Wireless Go. I am actually talking into a lav mic right now. This is the Rode Lav, and this is what it sounds like coming right out of the Rode Lav. Now, as you can see on the camera, I have the decibels fully up. I also have this set plugged into the 3.5 millimeter jack, and I have it left and right. Now, for some reason on my Blackmagic, I can't control the volume of the 3.5 millimeter jack. I don't know if that's not a feature on the camera or whether I haven't upgraded the firmware. I'm pretty sure it's not a feature on the camera. So we're kind of at the mercy of the 3.5 millimeter jack. Now you can plug this into the XLR, but I found there's a lot of hissing, a lot of noise with that. Now you may be able to combat that by not only controlling the camera volume, but going into the phone app once it's available and turning on the fine-tuning decibel settings, which we'll go into. But this is what it sounds like coming out of a Rode Lav single channel. Now let's go ahead and unplug the mic and take that off. And this is what it sounds like just coming right out of the camera. And it sounds, to me, I've listened to these before, they sound pretty good. The audio quality sounds a lot better. There's a lot less noise floor. Now let's go ahead and stick on the dead cat, to which you just twist and lock here. And there we go. And this is what it sounds like with the dead cat on. Now, this does transmit up to, I think, 600 feet. It's pouring rain, and it always seems to be pouring rain every time we do one of these. So I can't test it, but it does have an increased range as well. And this is what it sounds like with a dead cat on. Now, let's switch over into split mode, and I'll let you listen to how the split mode works. Okay, so here we have 1 and 2, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? So, as you can see, this thing is pretty awesome. You can split the channel. This is coming from the 3.5 millimeter jack, and I think it sounds pretty darn good. So that's it. Let's jump over to the Rode Central app, and let's check out what you can do internally with these things. Okay, so here we are in the Rode Central app, and here you have your 2 transmitters and your receivers, and this does charge while you're in this menu because it is connected to the computer. But first, let's go up to this menu, and you have appearance. You can choose light or dark. I will leave it on dark or auto. Then you have this thing called monitor out. So yes, you can use this as a microphone to record into your computer. You can use this for streaming. You can use it for Zoom calls. You just have to select the proper audio device. Factory reset and quit. And that's about all the choices you get. Now, let's go into the bottom one here, the RX, which is the receiver. And let me show you a few things. Now, first, you have your backlight on and off, which just decides whether you want the backlight to turn on and turn off, to go on and off via when you turn on the receiver. Then you have this thing called gain mode. We will come back to that. And of course, you have your gain, you have your low, medium, and high. Now, let's go back over to the gain mode here. It says coarse. Switch that to fine, and you get a whole new plethora of control. You can go all the way from, I believe it's 10 decibels either way. And it changes in increments of 3, but you get much more fine-tuning with your thing. And for some reason, I can't go plus on this, and I don't know why. Before I could go plus, but today I can't. But this is going to give you a much finer range. So once we get the phone app, once this connects via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or however it's going to connect, you will be able to go into your, hopefully you will be able to go into your Rode and make those adjustments. But we're going to leave these the way they're set now. You do have control over split mode or merged mode. Now, when you're merged, you can make a safety channel, which this will record a track that is 20 decibels less than how high you have this. But watch what happens when you turn it back to split, you lose that ability. And of course, I have the marker button on. That is, if you tap the power button while recording, it'll put a little line in your recording, which will show, or you can toggle and just have that turn the backlight on and off, but I leave the marker on. Now, let's go into one of the transmitters here. And as you can see, here are my recordings. And let's go ahead and just tap on a recording. And as you can see, I have tapped the power button, and I can hit these little buttons on either side, and they bounce to where I've laid my markers, which is super awesome. And let's just take a listen to the audio. And that is my voice. Check 1, check 2, check 3, and another marker. And hopefully that put the marker right where I needed it to be. So as you can see, super awesome. The transmitters also record. Now you can export this. You can name it, choose WAV or MP3. I always suggest MP3. You always want 48 kilohertz, but you do have 44.1. And now here's something interesting. You can either output it in 24 bits PCM, or you can output it in float 32. Now, I'm not sure if these actually record in float 32 or if that's something we're going to be getting in a firmware update, which will then negate the safety track. Because what float 32, for those of you who don't know, do is basically when you record with this format, it doesn't matter what your volume level is. You can, if it's very soft, you can raise it up with no problem. If it's too loud and it's peaking, you can bring it down, and it just automatically fixes the audio. So I don't know if this records in float 32 or whether it just exports in float 32. I'm really not sure. So if anybody knows, let me know in the notes below. So hopefully this is, we'll just get float 32 on this thing. And then to export it, you'll just hit export, but we're not doing that. And then to control the actual transmitters, let's go ahead and click this gear icon. And here are our controls. Now you do have mute lock, which means you can go ahead and pre-mute these. I leave that off. And you can turn the recorder on and off. And that, once you turn the recorder on, you'll see that red dot on the screen. And that means that the unit is actually recording. But we're going to leave it off for now. Now, recording, you can do compressed, which is 43 plus hours remaining, or you can go to an uncompressed broadcast quality, which is 7 hours. Now, one thing to be careful here is that once these transmitters finish recording, if you're still recording, they're going to loop back and start recording over what you've recorded. So I would, just as a safety feature, stay on compressed, standard quality. That way you're not going to lose anything. That's just kind of a safety precaution. Then if you want to get rid of this recording, you can just hit delete and decide whether you want to delete the recording or not. And that is pretty much it for the app. So my final thoughts on the Rode Wireless Go 2 is that this is an incredible update and a must-have for any kit. I believe that this is definitely the small box 2.4 gigahertz small wireless microphone killer. This is the winner. No more calls. I really love this thing. Now let's talk about the good. Twist on dead cat, so you're never going to lose your dead cat. Stronger clip, goes on faster. Not only does it have a safety track of 20 decibels, but each transmitter also records up to 43 hours compressed, 7 hours uncompressed. I am very impressed with everything that this can do. The batteries charge up really fast. It does go about 600 feet. I couldn't test it today because it's pouring rain outside. Always seems to be pouring rain when I need to test these microphones. But all in all, absolutely awesome. The fact that you can export in Float 32, hopefully we'll get Float 32 recording, which will negate the safety track. Hopefully that will be a firmware update, would be really nice, Rode. But you can export in Float 32, and you can change the power button to be a marker button to mark certain cuts in your sound, which is awesome. Just the fact that you could split the tracks or do one track is awesome as well. This thing is a total and complete package and something that should be in every filmmaker's kit. And definitely an almost perfect product, and I never say that, but this is an almost perfect product. I really haven't found a heck of a lot wrong with this, except for there is no charging case. Maybe Rode will sell a charging case somewhere down the line separately, which would be awesome. But all in all, I really can't complain about this. There has been so much improvement. Love it, love it, love it. Now, who is this for? This is for everyone. Narrative filmmakers, whether you're doing interviews, if you're Zoom calling or streaming video, you can plug this thing right into your computer and use it as a microphone into your computer. It does that as well. It really is kind of the Swiss Army knife of wireless microphones. And I love it. And for $299 at the time of the recording of this video, you cannot beat that price. So That's it. Those are my thoughts, but I want to know yours. So leave your questions and comments in the notes below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to mash that bell button to be notified when we drop a brand new video. And feel free to use the links below, as it helps out the channel. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and this is New to Me.